So what is it that turns a great pop song into the most viewed YouTube video of all time? Is it just the beat? The catchy melody? Well, today we're going to look way past the music and actually deconstruct the story hiding inside Despacito. Because trust me, underneath that unforgettable rhythm is a full-on 5-act narrative. It's basically a masterclass in storytelling and seduction, and it's as carefully built as any classic tale you've ever read.
Despacito, slowly. It's so simple, right? But this one word, it's not just the title of the song, it's the entire philosophy. It's the core instruction for the whole story that's about to unfold, a promise that sets the pace and the mood for everything that comes next.
You know, every great story needs that one moment that kicks everything off, right? The inciting incident. And in this narrative, the first act, that initial spark, it happens before anyone even says a word. It all starts with just a look. Right off the bat, the story makes it crystal clear that this is mutual. This is not some one-sided chase. Yeah, he's been watching, but the key is how he interprets it. The look in your eyes was calling me. So this whole story, it begins on a foundation of unspoken mutual agreement.
And just check out how quickly things escalate here. This attraction isn't just a casual interest anymore, it's being framed as a literal law of physics. This metaphor, you are the magnet and I'm the metal. It suggests a force that's totally irresistible, totally natural. It's inevitable. Suddenly, we're not just talking about attraction, we're talking about destiny.
Okay, so we've got this powerful magnetic force, but even a force of nature needs a path to follow, right? And that's where we get to Act 2. The story shifts gears from just passively watching to mapping out an active, deliberate strategy.
The storyteller is super upfront about his intentions. I am getting closer and making a plan. See, this isn't him just stumbling into it hoping for the best. No, this is a conscious, thought-out process. The whole thing is calculated. But then you get that line, simply thinking about it makes my heart race, which shows you it's all fueled by real, genuine excitement.
So what is this master plan? Well, it's actually a pretty clear 3-step strategy. First, get closer. Physically close that distance. Second, let your senses take the wheel. As he says, all my senses are asking for more. And third, and this is probably the most important rule of the entire game, absolutely reject the rush. That line, "we cannot do this in a rush," sets the entire stage for the song's main idea. And all of this brings us right to the heart of the narrative, what I'm calling the Despacito blueprint. This is where the song really elevates itself. It stops being just a story about attraction and becomes this full-blown philosophy for how to create a truly unforgettable experience. Now, just listen to how he uses the word slowly here. It's not just describing the action, it is the action. And then you get this incredible metaphor, sign the walls of your labyrinth. Wow, this isn't just about the physical stuff. It's about taking the time to explore someone's mind, their complexity, their depths. So what is the Despacito philosophy exactly? Well, it's a strategy, really. It's the art of using deliberate, mindful action not just to create pleasure, but to stretch it out, to prolong it, to make it deeper, and ultimately to turn a single moment into something you'll never, ever forget. And this really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, we live in a world that is all about instant gratification, right? Everything has to be now, now, now. So why is this promise of taking things slowly so universally powerful, so compelling? What are we all really craving when we hear that? Okay, so after all of that patient, careful build-up, you know the narrative has to deliver a payoff. And that's Act 4. This is the climax. The slow burn finally gives way to an absolute explosion of passion, and you can feel the story's energy just take this huge, dramatic, intense shift. And this is where Daddy Yankee's verse comes in, and man, it is just brilliant. Let's start slowly, then savagely. Now that's not a contradiction. It's about dynamic range. He's showing that taking it slow is the foundation that makes those moments of, well, savage intensity even possible. The tenderness is what enables the passion. You can just hear how the language gets way bolder here, way more adventurous. Let me trespass your danger zones. This signals a whole new level of trust and intimacy. He's pushing the boundaries, but with permission. And the objective? It's clear, it's direct, and it's all about reaching the absolute peak of that experience. And what is that ultimate peak? It's right here. This line. This is the climax of the entire story. The goal is to have an experience so transcendent, so all-consuming that just for a moment, it completely erases your identity, the outside world, everything. It is the very definition of being lost in the moment. So, after a peak that intense, where does the story even go from there?
Well, the final act here isn't really an ending. It's more of a resolution. And it is all about transforming a fleeting, powerful moment into something permanent, a legacy. I mean, just look at these metaphors. He doesn't just want to leave a memory. He wants to create a manuscript, like a formal, written record. He wants to leave his seal, a mark of authenticity, a stamp. The entire encounter is being transformed into a story that's meant to be reread over and over again.
So when you get to the end of the song, you realize something huge. The entire experience was basically reverse engineered to be permanent. The goal was always right there in the lyrics. So you can remember when you're not with me. This whole encounter was explicitly designed from the start to become an absolutely indelible memory.
And all of this leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought. The whole story of Despacito seems to suggest that maybe the greatest act of passion, the ultimate form of seduction, isn't just about what happens in the moment. Maybe it's about the art of creating a perfect memory that lasts long after the music finally fades. What do you think?